The vast expanse of the ocean has always held a certain allure for those with an adventurous spirit. On one such ship, a young boy named John King found himself caught up in a world far different from the one he'd known before. John King's name has been etched into the annals of history as the youngest pirate, a title that evokes a strange mix of curiosity and disbelief. The year was 1716, and the golden age of piracy was in full swing. John, barely a teenager, found himself swept up in this tumultuous world when he was captured by the notorious pirate captain Samuel Bellamy. The decision to join a pirate crew was rarely a matter of choice, especially for someone as young as John King. Life aboard a pirate ship, though fraught with danger, offered a chance for adventure, camaraderie, and perhaps even a share of the spoils. John's youth likely worked in his favor. His small stature could have made him useful for tasks that required agility or stealth, such as climbing rigging or sneaking into tight spaces. Life aboard a pirate ship in 1716 was a far cry from the romanticized image often portrayed in fiction. A typical day aboard would have begun before sunrise, with the ship's cook preparing a simple breakfast. The crew, roused from their cramped quarters below deck, would then set about their assigned tasks. Despite the rigid hierarchy on board, pirate ships were surprisingly democratic in their own way. For young John, the daily routine would have been a crash course in seamanship, survival, and the art of navigating the treacherous waters of both the ocean and pirate society. Life aboard a pirate ship was governed by a strict code of conduct, often referred to as the Articles. One of the most fundamental tenets of the pirate code was the equitable distribution of plunder. Unlike the hierarchical structures of naval vessels, pirate crews prided themselves on their egalitarianism. The pirate code also addressed matters of discipline and punishment. For young John, the pirate code would have been a harsh introduction to the realities of justice and order in this lawless world. The life of a pirate was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but it also held the promise of unimaginable wealth. The ships they targeted, often laden with valuable cargo from distant lands, represented a potential fortune for those willing to risk everything to claim it. The most sought-after prizes were gold and silver coins, the lifeblood of commerce in the 18th century. The distribution of plunder was a carefully orchestrated affair governed by the ship's articles. For young John, witnessing the spoils of piracy would have been both exhilarating and unsettling. The lifeblood of a pirate crew, their bread and butter, and their ticket to infamy all hinged on the success of their raids. This was not a haphazard act of wanton plunder, but a carefully calculated operation, requiring strategy, skill, and a good deal of daring. The pirates' choice of target was rarely random. Once within range, the pirates would unleash a fearsome barrage of cannon fire, crippling their target and sowing chaos amongst the crew. While raiding ships formed a cornerstone of the pirate life, it was by no means their only means of acquiring wealth. Pirates were, by necessity, resourceful and adaptable, engaging in a surprising array of activities to supplement their ill-gotten gains. Trade, surprisingly, played a significant role in the pirate economy. Local communities, particularly those beyond the reach of official law or those sympathetic to the pirate cause, sometimes became willing partners in trade. The vastness of the ocean provided ample hunting grounds for pirates, but it also offered a degree of anonymity and protection. Islands, hidden coves, and remote stretches of coastline, far from the watchful eyes of naval patrols, became havens for these outlaws of the sea. Some hideouts were little more than temporary anchorages, used for brief periods to careen ships, replenish supplies, or divide loot. Others, more established and fortified, served as semi-permanent bases of operation, complete with rudimentary dwellings, storage facilities, and defences against attack. For young John King, these havens would have been places of both wonder and trepidation. The life of a pirate was inherently fraught with danger. The vast expanse of the ocean, while a source of freedom and opportunity, was also an unpredictable and unforgiving mistress. Storms, those sudden and violent tantrums of nature, posed a constant threat to even the most seaworthy vessels. But the sea held dangers beyond the fury of storms. Hidden reefs and shoals, lurking beneath the surface like sleeping giants, could tear open the hull of a ship with terrifying speed. Section 2. A pirate's arsenal. To survive in this perilous world, pirates relied on a combination of skill, cunning, and raw firepower. Their ships, often captured prizes themselves, were armed to the teeth, bristling with cannons, swivel guns, and muskets, ready to unleash a storm of iron and fire upon their enemies. For young John King, witnessing the awesome power of a pirate ship in full battle trim would have been a terrifying spectacle, a testament to the deadly nature of their trade. Cannons, those behemoths of naval warfare, formed the backbone of a pirate's arsenal. Ranging in size from small swivel guns to massive long guns, they could hurl iron shot, grape shot, or even incendiary projectiles with devastating effect. A well-aimed broadside could cripple an enemy vessel, shattering masts, tearing holes in hulls, and sending splinters of wood flying like deadly shrapnel. But pirates were not limited to long-range engagements. Boarding actions, those brutal close-quarters fights, were a hallmark of pirate warfare. Here it was the cutlass, that curved and deadly blade, that reigned supreme. Pirates, skilled in its use, could cleave through flesh and bone with terrifying speed, turning the deck of a ship into a scene of carnage. Muskets, while less accurate than their modern counterparts, provided a deadly hail of lead at close range. Pistols, often carried in pairs, were the weapon of choice for quick engagements and personal defense. And for those moments when brute force was required, there was always the boarding axe, a heavy and brutal tool capable of smashing through doors, limbs, or skulls with equal ease. Section 3. Clash of the Titans. The golden age of piracy was marked by countless clashes at sea, as pirates preyed on merchant vessels, battled rival crews for supremacy, and clashed with naval forces determined to bring their reign of terror to an end. These encounters, often brutal and bloody affairs, were a testament to the pirates' courage, ruthlessness, and mastery of naval warfare. For young John King, witnessing such spectacles firsthand would have been a terrifying education in the realities of life and death on the high seas. Pirate battles were often a chaotic mix of cannon fire, musket volleys, and desperate boarding actions. Ships, their sails billowing in the wind, would maneuver for position, attempting to unleash a devastating broadside on their opponent's hull. The air would fill with the deafening roar of cannons, the acrid smell of gunpowder, and the screams of the wounded. Boarding actions, while fraught with danger, offered the chance to claim victory swiftly and decisively. Pirates armed with cutlasses, axes, and pistols would swarm the decks of their opponents, engaging in a brutal melee. The clash of steel, the roar of muskets, and the screams of the dying would fill the air as the two crews fought for control of the ship. Victory in these clashes often went to the swifter, more maneuverable vessel, and to the crew with this greater skill, courage, and ruthlessness. But luck, as always, played a role. A well-aimed cannonball, a sudden shift in the wind, or a moment of hesitation could turn the tide of battle, leaving the victor to claim the spoils and the vanquished to face a watery grave. The Whydah, under the command of the charismatic Samuel Bellamy, had become the stuff of legend. Laden with treasure from countless raids, she was a symbol of pirate success, her name whispered in taverns and ports across the Atlantic. But her reign of terror would be cut short on a stormy night off the coast of Cape Cod. On April 26, 1717, the Whydah, along with several other captured vessels, was caught in a fierce nor'easter. The storm, with its hurricane-force winds and towering waves, battered the ships mercilessly, pushing them towards the treacherous shoals of Cape Cod. The Whydah, her heavy treasure weighing her down, was driven aground on a sandbar. The impact shattered her masts, sending them crashing to the deck, and ripped open her hull, sending her precious cargo spilling into the churning sea. Of the nearly 200 pirates aboard, only 2 survived the wreck. The exact fate of young John King amidst this chaos remains unknown. Some accounts suggest he was one of the few who managed to swim ashore, only to be captured and later hanged for his crimes. Others claim he perished with the Whydah, his young life claimed by the same sea that had promised him adventure and freedom. Whatever his end, John King's brief but extraordinary life serves as a stark reminder of the allure and the brutality of the golden age of piracy. He was a child of the sea, shaped by its beauty and its fury, his story a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, for better or for worse. John King's story, though shrouded in the mists of time and speculation, offers a poignant glimpse into a turbulent era. A mere boy, when he was swept into the world of piracy, his fate, much like the churning seas he sailed, remains a subject of debate. Did he perish aboard the ill-fated Whydah, his young life claimed by the storm's fury? Or did he manage to escape the wreckage only to face the harsh judgment of a society that viewed pirates as the dregs of humanity? We may never know the definitive answer, but the very act of imagining his final moments speaks volumes about the precarious nature of life during the golden age of piracy. For every tale of plundered treasure and drunken revelry, there were countless stories of hardship, loss, and untimely demise. The sea, for all its allure, was a harsh mistress, unforgiving of mistakes and indifferent to the dreams of men, young or old. John's story, though tragically cut short, serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of this romanticized era. He was but one of countless individuals, many of them young and desperate, lured into this life of crime and danger by a complex web of circumstances, poverty, and the promise of a better existence. The golden age of piracy continues to capture our imaginations, fueled by tales of swashbuckling adventure, buried treasure, and a life lived on one's own terms. The allure of the pirate life, with its promise of freedom, camaraderie, and untold riches, transcends time, appealing to that rebellious streak that lingers within us all. But the reality, as John King's story so poignantly illustrates, was far more nuanced and often brutal. The life of a pirate was one of constant danger, hardship, and uncertainty. Disease, storms, and battles with rival crews or naval forces were ever-present threats, and even the spoils of their raids were often squandered on fleeting pleasures or lost in the next ill-fated voyage. The pirate code, often romanticized as a symbol of egalitarianism and brotherhood, was in practice a system designed to maintain order and maximize profits in a lawless and dangerous environment. Punishments for transgressions were swift and brutal, and the line between captain and crew could be blurred by greed, ambition, or the ever-present threat of mutiny. John King's story, though tragic, serves as a valuable counterpoint to the romanticized image of piracy. It reminds us that history is often written by the victors, and that the stories of those who lived on the margins, who challenged the status quo, are often lost or distorted over time. The golden age of piracy may be long gone, but its echoes continue to resonate in our modern world. The themes of rebellion, freedom, and the pursuit of wealth, however ill-gotten, still hold a powerful sway over our collective imagination. Pirates, in their various guises, continue to populate our books, films, and video games, serving as both heroes and villains, reflecting our own complex relationship with authority, morality, and the allure of the unknown. But the legacy of piracy extends beyond the realm of entertainment. The very notion of piracy, of challenging established norms and operating outside the bounds of law, has taken on new meaning in our digital age. From software and music piracy to the digital hijacking of ships and the theft of intellectual property, the spirit of the pirates, however distorted, lives on. John King's story, though rooted in a bygone era, serves as a reminder that the human factors that drive piracy, poverty, inequality, the desire for a better life, are still very much present in our world. It is a sobering thought, prompting us to look beyond the romanticized facade and confront the complex realities that lie beneath the surface. As we sail into the uncharted waters of the 21st century, we would do well to remember the lessons of the past. The allure of easy riches, of a life lived outside the rules, will always hold a certain appeal, but it is vital to recognize the true cost of such pursuits, the human toll exacted, and the enduring power of those forces both within and around us that shape our destinies.